In my attempts to prove that I'm not a Porsche fanboy, I'm here today with another Porsche build. This time is from a brand called Mckelos. Might be pronounced Mckelos, but I butcher everybody's name, so apologies for that. What I do know for sure is that this is a beaut.
The story of the Mckelos ST starts with one of Porsche's most legendary drivers' cars, the 911 ST. Over 50 years ago, Porsche built it for rally and endurance racing. Stripped down, widened, and tuned for nothing but speed and feel. It definitely wasn't polished. It was raw, mechanical, and alive. Today, Makellos Classic, a Porsche shop out of Southern California, San Diego to be exact, asked, what if we brought that same spirit into today? Not by reinventing it, but by refining it. The result is a Mckelos 911 ST. True to Porsche tradition, the power is delivered by a 3.5-liter flat six out the rear, making just over 300 horsepower. Bilstein coilovers keep it planted, and the whole car follows the RS philosophy: lighter, tighter, and more connected. Step inside, and that same philosophy continues. The interior is crafted with obsessive detail, lightweight materials paired with hand-stitched finishes. Think true rally simplicity, refined with just the right touch of modern detail. It's a cockpit that blends beauty with purpose. Every stitch, every surface, working to close the gap between driver and machine. What sets the Mckelos 911 ST apart isn't numbers, it's the character. Balanced, mechanical, and alive in your hands. Where Singer leans into artistry and Gunther Works pushes extremes, Mckelos stays rooted in Porsche's DNA. It's not about reinvention, it's about refinement. It's about elevation, staying true to the heart of the 911 while reminding you why it mattered in the first place.
Mckelos, essentially like most resto mod companies, you bring them the base, you give them the palette, and they add to it from there. What I don't know is how much this costs. So I'm not gonna take a look at the price. We just wanna take everything in of the car, experience it later, and then eventually when we're done, our buddies are gonna show us just how much this car costs and decide if that matters or if it justifies our first 5 minutes in the Mckelos 911 ST. So as we begin to send this car through its paces, one of the things to keep in mind is that we probably have a bias towards more modern Porsches, right? But we do have familiarity with Porsches from this era. As you recall, we've driven a 1979 11 on here. Immediately, I'm loving the way this exhaust sounds. Now this has a 915 gearbox in it, which ran for years in Porsches, I think up until 84 or something. Don't quote me on the exact time. Which is period correct for this car. But based on what I've seen them do with the motor, boring out a 3.2 to a 3.5, I think there should have been a transmission that matched that. And from what I'm seeing with the brakes as well, the brakes are also period correct. Because to be honest, brakes didn't really get good until a decade or so ago. The transmission is a bit tricky. It does not want you to throw it into gear hard, right? It wants to be babied a bit. as our buddy Magnus Walker told us, it wants to be firm, but not blunt. So, makes a bit of sense. They did install coilovers in this one. Let's open it up. All right, let's see. All right. Okay, so this feels a lot more planted than the 911 of that era, thanks to the coilovers. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, yes. Yes. It sounds beautiful. This area of about 3,000 from about it feels really good right here. This is its happy place. This is a car that feels like it's made for the technical turns. No unwanted body movement. It's a tricky thing because this has more power than its base form. So you get on it and immediately you're thinking, okay, I know how 911s are gonna act in these corners. So, I need to let off. But the reality is these coilovers keep it planted. The problem, however, is that your mind instinctively goes to how these brakes respond and they're not great. So you don't have as much confidence going into the corners because you're thinking, hey, what if this tail end does what 911s like to do? I want to be able to bring the speed down before I get into the corner to be prepared for that. But again, the coils are just fine. It's a matter of rewiring your brain in this car. Say it has about 350 horsepower. I think it's plus or minus 50 from 300. I think maybe it's sitting a little under 300. Again, it could be the elevation. We're up here. It could be our gas in California, as y'all like to say. So good above 5. The gearbox and engine combo, it does take a while to get up to speed. So being up here in the canyons, third gear just feels like your sweet spot, right? I'm just gonna leave it here so I can stay at 4K and up. Ooh, but it is taking a while. This is foot on the ground from 4,000, 5,000, 55. See what I mean? Okay, here in the shadies, and it feels good. Right? Like, I guess this is a happy, you're doing happy, safe speeds in this car. I think this car is fun for spirited driving. And that's a key definer. It has a lot of spirit to it. just not crazy about these brakes, man. When you really get on it, okay, you feel that back end. It's fun. It's a fun car. Feels good. And if my granddad was to say, hey, you know, the 911, I did some work to over the years. It's out in the garage. Go take it for a spin. This is what that full package would probably give overall. And the question that I have in my mind is that what Mckelos intended this car to be. You know, driving this car feels a lot like a video game. Not in the fact that it's anything remotely digital, but if you've ever played with a character that you've built up, at first, you're kind of like, they're weak. I don't care for this. I don't care for that. But eventually, when you spend more time, you keep leveling up, the stats go up, and you find yourself falling in love with that character. And that's really my experience with this Mckelos 911. It is a lot of fun up here. Originally, I was like, I kind of like it for city driving. I wasn't having too much fun ringing it out. And then as you and your dance partner start getting more and more familiar with each other, you start learning their quirks, how they move, how they like to glide around. And it's fun. I think what's really doing it for me is exhaust. Listening to that, you just want to ring it out constantly. The spot from 5,000 and up is perfect. It didn't quite feel like 350 horsepower to me. I'll say plus or minus 10 from the 300 mark. You know, probably depending on elevation and what gas station you got your gas from. What's that? Oh, sorry, the production team just said it's 320. That feels more like, I still don't know if this quite feels like 320 horsepower. It could be to the crank. You know, a lot of it can be getting lost to the actual wheel. But I think that works in its favor because I enjoy ringing this car out in the high revs, and I'm in a spot where it's not dangerously torquey. So I can be all the way at the top of the power band and have fun with it. And now, after having unbiased view of this car, I'm going to have our buddy Gino come and tell me how much it's going to cost to get into this.
Yeah, but so you're looking at about $450,000 to get into this.
I'm going to need more time than we have on camera. I loved and enjoyed the hell out of this car. As I said, if my grandfather said, hey, you want to take out my 911 that I've been working on over the years, you want to take it out for a spin? This gives me that feeling overall. But this doesn't feel like my grandfather put $450,000 into his car. For that price, the thrills need to match. And I think there's still things that they needed to sort out. Yes, you want to be period correct, but that 915 gearbox, I don't think it does justice to all of the man hours that you put into that motor, what the coilovers are doing. For that price, this car needs to feel perfect. I need to feel like I don't want to do anything else to it. But truthfully, I personally want to change out the gearbox. I want better brakes on there. And we got to get the tuning. We got to dial it in because there are some dead spots in the power band. One dead spot specifically. I think it's a beautiful car. At the end of the day, it boils down to what are you purchasing your vehicles for, right? Some people buy their cars for the way they look. It's just strictly cosmetic. And if that's the case, it's a beautiful car. The interior, I get it. Immaculate. But as an overall package and what I'm looking for at least, is something that I'm going to want to take to the canyons and ring out. And it just feels like it needs a little bit more work. Some of those corners need to be refined and edged. But I think Mckelos built a great car For somebody, that $450,000 is not going to come from me. But what I will say is I'm going to spend more than 5 minutes with this car off camera because it's fun as hell, and I didn't have to put $1 down on this.